Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wind Down Wednesday, episode 28. So just a couple of quick announcements about upcoming events tonight, and I will be sending out an email. So if you haven't subscribed to my mailing list, man, I can't talk at all tonight. Okay. Whew. If you have not subscribed to my mailing list, head to paulataylorenergy.com and you will get just very periodic, once every 2 months or so. Occasionally I'll send one in 6 weeks, just updating you about events and things I have coming up. So on February 2nd from 5:30 to 6:45 Arizona time, I will be doing a pain event with a few other amazing women. There'll be some yoga, there'll be a couple of speakers, and then I will be presenting a kirtan, a call and response meditation song that I've written specifically for release of pain from the body. And I have to tell you, I've already been singing it to myself because sometimes my stuff gets stuck in my head, and it really does kind of bring about that feeling of release. That's the vibration of the song, and that is a free event. So I will be talking more about that next week. I'll be posting some links to it on my Facebook, and then it will also be on my website for upcoming events. And then second thing I wanted to mention really quick is that I have the chakra class coming up. That starts on February 18th. It runs for 8 weeks. It's $88 for the whole course, or you can take each class individually for $15 if you are only interested in certain classes, and it will run in order. So week 1 will be the root chakra. Chakra 1 will work up through the 7 chakras, and then the 8th week will be kind of about integration. We'll talk a little bit about more energetic anatomy and work a little more with some of the things we've done in the course. Okay, so this past weekend, I had mentioned a couple times I went to I attended a virtual summit, a women's summit, and it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And I started wondering, because I went to this same summit last year in person, actually, here in Tucson. It's usually an in-person event. And this year's, because of COVID, we ended up doing this virtual event. And then in November, hopefully, we'll be back to our in-person event. But I attended this event for the first time last year in person, and I felt such a larger and more expansive connection this year, and it was a virtual event. So if anything, you'd think it would have felt a little bit less connected. So I started wondering why did I feel so connected this year? It was an amazing experience last year, but this year it was what I call transcendent. It was beyond amazing. I don't really even have words for it. And so I started thinking about, why was this? Why did I feel so much more connected this year than last year? And one of the things that we talked about in this summit multiple times was the idea of not only giving love, but being able to receive love. And as I started thinking about that, I realized that to really receive love, we need to be connected. We need to be connected to our physical bodies, to the earth in this physical plane. We need to be connected to the divine, to that spiritual element. Before we can connect to others, we have to be connected within ourselves, connected to the ground, connected to our bodies, connected to our own heart center, connected to that divine energy. And then we can really receive from others. And one of the things we talked about at this summit is that so many of us are used to giving love and giving, service to others, but we have a hard time receiving it. And I realized that that's what had changed for me between last year and this year. So last year, I was much less in my body. This last year for me has really been about coming into my physical body. And a big part of that has been my sound practice. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. And then another thing I think is that we need to let go of so many of our judgments of ourselves are harsh. We walk around with this sort of mind tape playing all the time, telling us we're not good enough at whatever. You're not smart enough, you're not funny enough, you're not pretty enough. Oh, you said something stupid. All day long we have these kind of harsh words that run through our minds. And So at the end of the day, we don't feel deserving of love. We don't feel deserving of connection. And that has really changed for me in this last year. I still have harsh thoughts. I still have harsh judgments. I still have conversations where I'm like, oh, I can't believe I said that. Or, oh, I couldn't talk on Wind Down Wednesday. And what happened to my tongue? It wasn't working right. But I release those so much more quickly than I used to. It's not my go-to anymore. Beating myself up is not my go-to. And it really was for so many years. And it really is for so many of us. So learning to release that allows us to be open to receive love. Love is there to receive, but we have to feel like we're worthy of receiving that love. As my friend Paul Bucky from BioTouch says, we just need to let ourselves be loved. And it sounds so simple, but it's complicated for us. It's complicated to kind of build all those connections and let go of some of those harsh judgments so that we're open, so that we can really receive love. All right, so let's see. Oh, I went all the way through most of my page already. Well, that's good. We're going to have a good meditation tonight, so we'll have a little bit more time for that. One of the other things I wanted to mention is one of the things we talked about quite a bit as well in this summit was the womb space. And so that's your sacral chakra, the second chakra. And I'm not going to go into that much tonight because I'm going to go a lot more into that when I get to my chakra class. It's partly why I decided to do a class, because there's just so much information to go through that we don't have enough time in this setting to do that. But I want to talk just briefly about this sacral area. And I'm calling it the womb space. This was a women's event, but men have this area too. Everyone has a sacral chakra in this kind of lower belly area. And this is our connection to divine flow. This is our connection to our creativity. And this is also, especially for women, this center of ease in our bodies. So we spent so much of our time this weekend doing that deep oxytocin breath that I usually guide you through at the beginning of our meditations, where you breathe in and you use that audible ha, and that vibrates the vagus nerve. It brings us out of the sympathetic into the parasympathetic. It brings us into ease in our bodies. And the thing is, if we're not in ease, if we're not in flow, we can't receive love. If you're in your head and you're worried and you're anxious, that energy is vibrating in a way that you are not receptive to receive. So being at ease in the body, being grounded and present in that lower part of our body, as I've talked about before, is really how we build that connection that allows us to connect with other people. And that's something that I don't think I ever really thought about in those terms before. In order to be connected to others, we need to be connected to ourselves. We need to be connected to the earth. And we need to be connected to that spiritual realm. And as I've mentioned before, the spiritual realm is kind of the easy part for me. I'm happy to drift off and away from my body, but what I've really come to see in this last year in so many ways is that being present in the body is so important. Being at ease in the body opens that channel so that we can receive love. And as we receive, we give. So many of us give until we feel empty. And when we're in flow and we have that divine energy flowing through us, then we're giving from this amazing energy that's around us and not from our own personal energy stores. And as we give freely, then that energy comes back to us if we're open to receive it. So what we're going to do tonight is focus on building connections. So we're going to build some connections to the body. We're going to build connection to the earth. We're going to open our connection to the divine, which we've been doing now for 6 months. So hopefully you're feeling pretty comfortable with that. And then we're also going to build our connection to our heart space and that sacral space, that womb space. So I want to talk a little bit about toning, because I've started using this, and it's interesting. I didn't realize the power that sound has had, the immense healing impact of sound in my life, until I started preparing for this women's summit and I started thinking about what I was going to say. And I looked back, especially over this past year, and I realized that I've had physical healing thanks to my sound practice. I've had these barriers within myself that I didn't realize needed to come down, finally came down, and the sound is what vibrated that away. Just like we use ultrasound in a therapeutic setting to get rid of scar tissue, or they use it to destroy a tumor in the body, sound actually has the power to break down these barriers. And I had built barriers within myself about who I was, about, am I an ultrasound tech? Am I a massage therapist? Am I a musician? And as I looked back over this last year, as I prepared for this presentation I was giving this weekend, I realized that, as somebody else was talking about, sound is sneaky deep. She was talking about something else that she does, but sound works on such a deep level that it bypasses our conscious thought. So I didn't realize that I had all these kind of boundaries. I didn't realize that I had this energy that needed to clear from my body consciously, but I was practicing this toning. I was writing music with this intentionality of this vibration of healing. And without me even realizing it, until I looked back preparing for this presentation, the sound and the music completely transformed my experience of my physical body, especially. So what I wrote down about toning is that it's a vibration specifically channeled for healing and connection. So when I tone kind of improvisationally, to use a musical term, I'm channeling in that moment what's coming through to me that will be a vibration of healing as we practice together. But you can learn to tone for yourself, and that's something that we're going to do in that chakra class. So if you've been thinking about it, I highly encourage you to sign up. We're going to practice toning together. We're going to practice meditation together. And then, of course, we're going to learn about the chakras and go through each one. But so for tonight, I have been guided to tone maybe more than usual at each kind of level. So we're going to, as I said before, we're going to connect to the body, and I'm going to do some toning at the base of the body, some toning in that sacral kind of womb area, and some toning at the heart. And then we're going to connect to the earth as we practice frequently, and then we're going to connect to the divine. And then I have a little bit of a fun surprise, I think, that's going to come through at the end of the meditation, and I'm not going to give that away. So, as usual, be gentle with yourself. And it's funny, I say that every week, and I'm talking to myself too, because as I was talking about earlier, we judge ourselves so harshly, and we can't receive love when we're in that judgment. We can't receive love when we're closed, and we close off to ourselves first because we're our harshest critics. When you go out somewhere and you're wondering what someone's thinking about you, that's a reflection of your feelings about yourself. And even when somebody does say something harsh to you, that's a reflection of your feelings about yourself. Everything we experience with other people is a reflection of our inner world, and it's an opportunity for us to learn and expand and grow. So, enough talk, let's meditate. I'm going to take my healing sip of water and see if Facebook picks that as the one image they show. So be gentle with yourself. Enjoy this meditation. Remember that love is your divine birthright. You are here to be loved. You deserve to be loved. Let yourself be loved. Go ahead and close your eyes. Get comfortable. As usual, sit up if possible, just to help yourself stay aware and stay present. But if it's most comfortable for you to lie down, feel free to do that. Take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and sigh them out with that audible ha sound. Let's come into ease in our bodies. Ah. As you breathe in through the nose, really let your belly come out. Breathe all the way down into the bottom of your hips, and then sigh it out through your mouth. Do that at least one more time. And then imagine the top of your head, that crown chakra area, opening to divine love, your birthright. That golden light of joy and bliss that we often tap into in these meditations. Allow it to flow in through the top of your head. Let it fill your scalp, your face, your jaw. Take an extra little breath here into your jaw. Let that tenseness go away. Let this beautiful divine love and light flow into your throat and your neck. Let it come into your shoulders and upper arms, down through those upper arms and into your elbows. Allow this love and joy to flow into your forearms and your wrists and hands. Anytime you feel like you're meeting resistance in the body, take another one of those deep breaths and let it out with a ha sound. Let that tension flow out into the earth for the highest good. Allow that joy and light and bliss to flow into your chest and your upper back. Let this energy come into your abdomen and your mid-back. And really let this love come into your low belly and your low back. Pausing here for a moment. We'll come back to this, but send one nice deep breath into that womb space, that sacral chakra, that low belly area. And sigh it out as you allow this loving divine energy to flow into your hips and your pelvis, down into your thighs. Let this loving energy come into your knees and take another breath here. Drawing love into this area of the body that supports us physically and energetically. And as you sigh it out, sigh that love down into your lower legs and into your ankles and feet. Take one or two more deep breaths here into any remaining areas of tension in your body. And sigh that tension out. Let it go for the highest good. Allow yourself the freedom to be fully present for the next few moments. Allow yourself to come fully into your body. Allow yourself to open to this love that is always available to us when we are ready to receive it. And now focus on your feet or your bottom, whatever's connected to the ground. If you'd like, you can imagine tree roots growing out from the base of your spine, from the bottom of your feet into the earth. If you've been to your garden, you can go back there. If not, just picture a beautiful garden, whatever kind of plants, flowers, or trees you'd like. And let your bare feet dig down into that rich, fertile soil. Feel the sun on your face, that warmth. And pause for a moment here to plant some seeds of intention about your connection to the earth and your body. Perhaps your intention is just as simple as, I am fully present in my body. I am fully grounded and connected to the earth. Just plant some seeds of intention here to be connected to the earth, to be connected to your physical body. You can water these seeds. Feel the sunlight on your face, on your body. Know that it will allow these seeds of intention to grow into beautiful flowers, that your connection will strengthen as you fertilize this garden with your presence, your intention, your breath. Sit down here if you'd like, directly on this warm soil. Notice how beautiful it is here, how at home you feel. And add any more seeds that you'd like to your garden before we move on. Allow this toning to come into your garden space, into your body, to help you connect with the earth and your body. Leave a beautiful gift in your garden here. Maybe it's a decorated rock or a crystal or a flower, a feather, whatever comes to your mind here. Allow your intuition to guide you, but leave an offering here, a token of your intention to stay connected to your body and to the earth, to the ground. Affirm out loud if possible, I am fully present in my body. I remain grounded no matter what the internal or external circumstances. I am connected to the earth. Gently allow yourself to leave that garden and come into your low belly. You can put your hands on your low belly to help you focus on this area. And give some attention to this space of creativity. This is a watery center, a center of flow. This is a center of emotions. So allow yourself to connect with your emotions here. If any emotions come up, breathe through them. Use that ha breath and let the emotions come. And allow yourself to connect here with creativity in your own life in whatever form that takes. It does not have to be artistic creativity. Maybe you're creative in the way you keep your house or organize your things. Maybe you're creative in the way you're parenting your children. Maybe you're creative in the way that you cook. Whatever your connection to creativity is, allow that to come to you intuitively here. And if nothing comes to you, that's okay. You can come back to this meditation again until you make this connection. As you build this connection, your creativity will open, and you will find yourself more creative in other areas of your life as well. Set the intention in this womb space, this sacral chakra in your low belly, to step into flow, to allow yourself to connect with your emotions, and to allow yourself to be creative. Focus on these intentions and allow this sound to come fully into your sacral center. Affirm with me out loud if possible. I am responsive to the deepest needs and desires of my physical body. I allow myself to feel it is safe to feel. I am a being of great creativity and flow. And gently now allow your awareness to come to the heart center in the center of the chest. As we did before, if you'd like, you can place your hands on the heart center just to help direct your focus to this area. Just check in here. Notice how your heart feels today. Does it feel open and receptive? Does it feel armored? You have any fear coming up here? That's completely okay. Just breathe through that. And allow yourself to come fully into this space. Sometimes we avoid the heart, or we've armored it so deeply that we can't access it. So just let yourself come into this space and notice what you feel. If you notice a lot of armoring, if it feels like it's difficult to access, just revisit this meditation with the intention that you allow that armor to relax. True protection of the heart comes from being connected to that divine energy. We don't need to build walls around our heart. As we strengthen our connection to the divine, to our own energetic powerhouse, to the etheric body that lies just around the heart and all of our organs and our body, we no longer need to worry about building protection, because love transmutes fear. Any fearful vibrations that come into our field get transformed into the higher vibration of love when we are connected to that divine energy. So now allow your heart to open. You can picture it as a beautiful flower, whatever flower you choose, And imagine the petals of that flower opening to the warmth of the sun, to the love of this divine energy that's flowing in through our head now. Let that energy come into this heart center. Let yourself relax here. Let yourself release the judgments that you carry about yourself and others. Feel a bright, glowing light like the sun emanating from your heart center, being fed from that divine energy that flows into the head, being stored around the heart in that etheric body, the area just around the heart, this powerhouse of energy that we always have access to. And set the intention here to allow yourself to receive love. Set the intention here to stay connected to your heart center and to stay open. Allow that vibration to further open your heart, to strengthen that love in your heart. Really let yourself feel love here, open to that divine energy, that love of unconditional divine energy that flows in through the top of your head. Allow the heart to connect here with that womb space, that sacral low belly area, and with that root, that ground, that connection to the earth. Allow all of this energy to meet here at the heart and let that heart open. Let that space be receptive. Let yourself receive the love now that's coming, not just from the divine, but from me and everyone else who's practicing this meditation. Let that love come into your heart here. And now I want you to think about a person, an animal. It can be somebody who's no longer with us or someone who's still alive. The first person or animal that comes to your mind when you think about unconditional love. And invite that being into your space now. And invite their love to come into your heart. Let yourself feel this love. Let yourself be receptive to the love of this being that came to you intuitively. Let it come right into that center of your heart space and allow any remaining fear or doubt to fall away. Just receive love here. Receiving from that divine source and from the earth. And now from this special being that is here just to give you love in this moment. Maybe it's a spirit guide, maybe it's a relative, maybe it's a pet. Whoever came to you, and maybe there's more than one, that's fine. Maybe you're feeling all of the love of your ancestors, of those who came before you. Whatever comes to you here, let yourself open to this love. Let your heart open. Let this love come into your heart. And affirm with me out loud, if possible. I allow myself to be loved. I release any harsh judgments of myself and others. I step fully into love. I am open to receiving love. Allow yourself to remain here, receiving love from the earth, from your body, from that sacral womb space, that low belly, from your own heart, from that divine flow, and from your being of love who came to you tonight just to send you love, just to allow you to receive love. Let yourself stay in this space for a few more moments. Allow yourself now gently to come back into your body fully, leaving that heart open for your highest good, leaving that connection to the ground open for your highest good, leaving your connection to that sacral chakra, that womb area open for your highest good, and leaving that crown chakra connection to the divine open for your highest good. Let yourself be in connection to yourself, to your body and the earth, and to spirit, and pave the way for a greater connection to others, for greater love for yourself and for others. Affirm with me out loud, if possible, I am fully present in my body. I am fully present in my body and grounded, connected to the earth. I am fully present in my low belly and my heart. I am fully connected to divine love for my highest good. As you're ready, you can wiggle your fingers and toes, move your wrists and ankles a bit. Take one more nice deep breath and let it out with a nice audible ha sound. As you come back to yourself, remain in ease, remain connected. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for opening yourself to receive love. Being loved is your divine birthright. You are here to be loved, to receive and give love, to choose love over fear, to be connected to your body, to the earth, and to that divine flow of unconditional love that's always available to us. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you next week for Wind Down Wednesday.